Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to DevChatter. It is a nice Saturday and it's a little after 1 p.m. here, and hopefully you're all having a pretty nice day. So if it's morning or evening or anything like that where you are, I hope whatever part of your day is pretty good too. As I mentioned, my name is Brendan and I want to welcome everyone here today. We are going to be doing some live streaming. And Greendolf's starting the stream on... Whoa! 12 months! 12 months! Greendolf, you just hit the year! You now have a smiling Chatosaurus next to your name. That is awesome! So if anyone that doesn't know, Greendolf apparently has been subscribed to this channel now. That'll complete a year of being a Chatosaurus here in DevChatter. So that's awesome. Yes, absolutely some hype there. And cool, the overlay was connected. I thought I turned that off. So hey, that's awesome. Either way, glad we got that out of the way at the beginning. So I wanted to mention to everyone that if you are new here and you don't know what we do here on the stream, we do a lot of live coding, mostly on open source projects. We do some community sites. We've done a bit of casual game development in the past. We've worked on some chat interactive stuff. We like doing things that are just kind of interesting and fun. That's our main goal with most of the stuff we work on. As I mentioned, everything is out on GitHub at github.com/devchatter. Link in the chat as well as down below the stream. In addition to that, if you are someone that is interested in following along with us, feel free to open up Visual Studio. You can grab the source code, you can mess around with it. You can, fork the repository and make a pull request if you like, or you can just review the code. You can sit back and watch. You can make suggestions. You can ask questions in the chat. If you don't want to type in the chat, don't type in the chat. And hopefully you at least enjoy the stream a little bit. So as I alluded to, if anyone follows me on Twitter, I am back from Stir Trek. We had a pretty nice talk there, so I got pulled in last minute to fill in a spot at Stir Trek. So what that meant was I had to update all my slides for the current event and things like that. So I do like my slides to be customized for every event where I give the talk, even if I've given the talk before somewhere else. First off, because I was giving a talk that is about C#, what's going on with it, what current stuff people should know about C#, and what things they should be looking forward to in future versions. So a little bit of practical stuff that you can do today when you go home from the conference, obviously, and things that you could go and look at in the future. So again, that's a lot of C#7 and C#8 is basically what the mix is there. It's, hey, here's the cool features that you might not know about that you absolutely should, and I expect that the audience is going to know some of them, but quite useful. In regards to that, you'll be able to find that session on YouTube, on the YouTube channel for Stir Trek, when those go live. So if anyone wants to see any of the videos from that, you can actually find them out there. First off, all the videos from my stream are also on YouTube, which I am using to get a link that I'm going to mess with, because their link is very similar to mine. That should be the Stir Trek link, which I copy-pasted and changed the name of. Why don't I click that and confirm that's their link? Yes, it is. Cool. So if anyone is interested in seeing that session that I did on Friday morning, yes, I had an 8:30 a.m. session after, hours of driving to get there, so it was quite early. So yeah, you can see, if these videos went live 10 months ago, these are the sessions from last year, then what that means is there'll probably be a 2-month delay before mine goes live, but feel free to subscribe so you'll if you do watch on YouTube, so that you'll get notified when those go up there if you have any interest in watching my session. There's some other great ones that I would recommend that people see, and I will make sure that when those do go live, when I know that they've gone live, I will be sure to link any of the people that have been guests on DevChatter before, so you can see their talks as well, because most of the guests of DevChatter that were in attendance there, and there were a good number of them, are people who who had talks at the same event, so that's why they were there as well. That includes Ed Charbonneau, who is the Blazor State Has Changed streamer that I'm sure many of you know. Let's see, and some other people in the Live Coders team were there as well. including our Dallas and Carrie. Who else was there? I'm trying to remember. Digital Drummer was there. I ran into Fishing Dev, so that was cool. Crimson Green showed up, so plenty of people. I got pictures with a few of them. There was also Cassandra Ferris was there. If anybody remembers when she was a guest on our stream, she did a session there that you'll be able to check out. And there were a few other people that I want to get onto our stream as guests as well. So let's jump into our code here. So, quick intro for, obviously anybody that's been here before, you know what this site is that we're working on. It is our DevStreams site. It's a community site, and we are building it to help promote the developer streaming community, which is growing mass tons, and we are thrilled about that. So really looking forward to seeing all the growth within the community. It has been amazing so far. Lots of fantastic streamers have started streaming stuff. So really thrilled with how well everything has, been going for streaming. Let's jump into our code. So we were working on a branch. What is this branch doing? Let me switch over here. Hang on. Okay. So we were working on a branch. We were doing a little bit of styling. Let's get this site going and take a look here. So we are in a branch that we titled UX Channels Page. So we're trying to improve the user experience on the channels page, obviously, based on that name. I'm going to go ahead and get that going. Chef, good afternoon. Hello. Indy. Were you at, what was it? Dang it, my brain won't come up with the name. There was a conference just going on in Indy. That my name won't, my name won't give me the brain for. Yeah, that's the words I was going for. Exactly. My name won't give me the brain for. There's what was everybody at? Everybody was at a oh man, I can't remember that. For some reason my name won't my name won't come up with the brain for it. Yeah. All right, well, I won't worry about it. Okay, so here is what we got. So we were building this. This page used to have a little search box on it that worked the same way as our channel selector on the create page. I don't want it to work that, like, for adding tags to your own stuff, I want you to type in the words and find them and search it that way. For this one, we're going to sort by what are the most common tags, and you can click those, and we'll hide the additional ones under the show more, for example. So this is how we have it right now. So this is the list of tags that are currently being used by something on the site. So not the full exhaustive list. These are just the ones that are getting used. We might eventually make this, show less and show more, have multiple stages, and obviously it needs a styling update because that text color on it is kind of hard to read. But not terribly worried about that just yet. Where did that color come from? Let's check out computed. The color is right here. And what did this come from? So it's coming from the Slate styling, and the problem then is not necessarily that Slate gave us that color, but that Slate didn't change the button. Like, I don't mind that it gave us a light color on that, but then the button background should be different. So where did this background color come from? Button face. So what that tells me is that I either need to use some styling from Slate to get it to use mine instead, or something like that. What is Slate defining? Like, what colors do they have? I don't know what a button color is supposed to be in here. So let's do a quick search inside. So we're gonna search the CSS file. I just want to see if they have button styles that are supposed. Okay, so this is inheriting the color. I just want to see what it has defined. I'm going to check for BTN as well, just in case it called it something like that. That is the color text of a button. But where... Hey, Riley Dunn. Welcome. Greetings. Oh, Chef. Hang on. Yeah, what is the event that everybody came over for? Hang on one second. I'm gonna find that out because you're in Indy, and there was a tech conference that went on, and a bunch of people were over there. So who do I want to search for? Joel was at it and mentioned having been there. So Indie Code, that's it. Indie Code. That's the name I couldn't come up with. Should be this one? Right? I think this is the one. April 24th through the 26th. Yep, that's this one. So this is the one that was like this week that a bunch of people were at. So I don't know if you did this one. But if you did, then that's cool. Riley Dom, my VS didn't respect your style settings? Riley Dom, I don't know what you mean. Okay, so I want this button to look different, because that's just wrong, and I'm kind of surprised that we didn't get that. Yeah, it's like there's no color thingy. There's no background color on it. Because I don't want white. That's just stupid. Why would I want a background color of white on something that's given white text? I mean, white-ish. So a button with a list item, group item focus. We don't want that. Group item focus, that might not be bad. Wait, what? Chef, oh, Riley. Yeah, don't let your Visual Studio change the tab versus spaces. It's the short answer. You should be able to set by project that you want it to use spaces for this project, since that's what this one's on. Hey, Rambling Geek, welcome, greetings. Yes, a nice derp there. Chef, what did you... I didn't actually get the link you posted, because it, for some reason, deleted it out of my chat, which it shouldn't have done. So, if you wanted to post a link, send it over in the Discord or something like that. Okay, so a couple of other things I want to change. Let's get to those now. Since we are doing some UX updates, I wanna get some of these fixed. So we'll work on that. Let's get some UX updates. So first off, we are going to the channel index. Channel. What is it? Is it not channel index? I swear it would be. There we go. So here is find channels. It's the one. Channels index. Yeah, it is. What are you smoking? Maybe I said channel index instead of channels index. That could be it. Because it should be plural. It's the channels index. It's the index page for channels. We have the CSHTML file open. Can you give me a shortcut to get to the associated CS file? No? Okay. Well, either way, I can go to definition on that, and that'll get me there as well. Okay, so we have all the related files. This is the one that loads up in the background, does absolutely nothing, as it's supposed to do absolutely nothing. The next thing here is the front page, where we have gotten rid of the old multi-select. So I am actually going to chop that. Speaking of chopping it, let's just completely get rid of the whole component thing in there that we were doing. There we go. Unexpected trailing comma, that's fine. If it's actually going to squiggly it over, if it's going to squiggly me over that, I will get rid of it. That's okay. We'll go over here. Yeah, Riley Dumb. Just make. Short answer is make sure they're actually spaces. Don't send me tabs. Like, and I will see that in the pull request. Chef. Oh, did you actually work at that coding conference? Like, did you do the catering for it? If so, that's hilarious and awesome. Yeah, no problem, Riley. I just want to let you know, like, that'll be. I mean, I guess I could fix it in there, but should be easy enough to adjust it on your end. Should probably be easier. So let's see. So this should work. Let's take a look. We click that, we got all the C++ ones. Done. We click this, we get the C# ones. I need to change the styling of these buttons. So a little bit nicer, look a little bit more like these ones. So a couple of things I want to do. Available tags, I want to exclude ones that are already selected. So if you have already selected the tag, I do not want to show it in the available tags. So let's see. Let's see, do they have an equivalent of accept now? No, it's not accept the something. So C# link accept. So we have this. Do they have that? Thank you, someone. Nope. Apparently don't. Okay, because we can just write it. I was hoping they just had one, because some of those linky expressions that we have been made available in the JavaScript world as well. So I was just checking to see if we actually had those or not. So that's not the one we want. We want the channel index CS_HTML and the CS file and the associated JS file, which is going to be right here. So we're going to say channels index. That's the one. Okay. Hey, it's Phil from Joey. Welcome, Phil from Joey. Isn't everything in JavaScript a map and reduce? Yeah, basically. But by the same token, I mean that's pretty much the same thing. Because we have that same rough concept over in C# as well. Because we can do everything as wheres, selects, or aggregates and things like that. So we can go down that same road. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy to read. So, for example, some of the other ones that JavaScript added in are like the sum, and the filter, for example, is the equivalent of where. So if you're used to C#, those are the ones that we get over there. So what do we want to write? So we're going to do this simply to start with. What section are we displaying in the lower part? It is available tags. We have a collection called available tags. Yes, go me. Thank you for setting that up already. Thank you, thank you. Okay, and we have this stuff together because I consider making that available tags section work to be like one big thing. That's one one concept, available tags, computed property available tags right here. So I did this as one big messy thing, and that's fine. Okay, so we filtered based on the tag count being greater than 0. And then we sorted based on the tag count. I think that's the easiest filter to check. This will remove most of them, so we want to do that filter first. The next filter that we want to do, which actually, now that I think about it, we could just do these together as one big filter. So we'll say tag count greater than 0, and ooh, do I make a... so that is tags. Let's make, I'm gonna make a constant called selected tags. I'm gonna set it equal to the search filters dot selected tags. So, and the only reason I'm doing that is because the name is too long, because I don't like having to go into that collection to get it, and then, you know, thising it and everything like that. So we're going to say index of tag in this collection. So if we have the tag in this collection greater than -1, wait a minute, hang on, wait. Only do it if it equals -1. I thought it could get me. I almost did that backwards. And then that should be it. I need to get us a JavaScript testing framework, because I need to test that. Did I do that backwards? Derp. Yep, I derped it. Search filters is not defined. What? Oh, this dot. Derp. C#, JavaScript, web development, English, .NET Core, VueJS. Hooray! Can I put C# back? I can. Put JavaScript back. Put English, .NET Core, and VueJS back. There we go. Wait. Greendorf, Joe Philly. Why? Did I say wait? Maybe I did. Want to do literally anything? Map. So Joe, quote. Yeah, okay. Well, hang on. All right, hang on. How many times did I say it? All right, I think I created that tag, that quote correctly. Congratulations, there's quote 18. Wait. Yeah, okay, so it looks like it works, so I like that. We now just need to fix the styling of the lower tags. So that looks pretty good. And I like the idea of these tags being a nice, bright, obvious color, and these ones being kind of dull, because the selected ones I feel like should be highlighted in some way, because that's the collection you're using. Then makes me wonder whether or not we should put this available tags collection, say, somewhere else even. I don't know. I need to think about this page layout. Because that's going to be something. But this control does seem to work. Let's fix that styling really fast. These are ugly. these buttons. They're not the worst, the little badges we have here, but the rounded corners are just kind of bleh. Because they're badges, right? So this got us a shortcut to make it not look so bad, which was a fantastic suggestion we got last time, was just use badge to make it work. The changes that I want to make, though, let's go to our site.css file. So this is the tag styling stuff that we did. So that's tag selection, tag selected. Which one's tag so tag selection? I think these are these tag selection. Yeah. Okay. So we said that's gonna wrap. So we want to specify for the spans inside of a tag selection or something like that. Or maybe we define it as the tag. Maybe it's a tag inside of this? Is there anything associated with tag already? No. Okay. Zoltralord, first off, hi, welcome, greetings, haven't seen you in a while. Second, why did you post a link and get killed by Nightbot? I apologize about that. Nightbot's kind of overzealous sometimes, but I can't even see what you linked, because I think Twitch must have changed things. I think it's actually deleting the messages instead of just timing you out. So I think Nightbot changed how it did that, so I can't see what the link was that you even posted. So, kind of a bummer. It was a clip of me. Well, that absolutely should have been allowed. Was it a clip of the wait? I hope it was that. I hope it was that. Twitch. That is an easy way to find out. Clips created in the last 24 hours. Wait, there are no clips in the last 24 hours, according to this. I don't see any clips. So, oh, it was that one? Okay, well, just link it in Discord or something like that, and I'll try to post it. So let's go back to badge. Let's see what we can't change here. So instead of badge, we're going to pretend that we have some other one. So let's set the... You know, I'm actually okay with that background color. However, I want to see if I can actually get our DevChatter colors to be the ones that we're actually using. So let me find out what our actual color palette is. Because I'm going to use a color palette that... So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have some of the basics of the site hopefully be consistent regardless of the theme you chose. So our highlight color being red on the tags for selected and gray on the available. I'm hoping that those colors will work fine with our default darkly and slate themes. As long as they do, then I will make some of the highlights in our site use that color palette, so that there is some kind of a consistent, consistency to it. And at least until we come up with what a DevStreams logo of its own, I'm going to use DevChatter's colors. Because I like DevChatter's colors. Nice, nice gray and red, and looks pretty good. We got, I like them. Now let's see, is this going to load on the right screen or the left screen? Hey, it chose the correct screen. That's perfect. Okay, so won't display perfectly when I do this, but let's go ahead and group, ungroup. I will not show you guys my secrets just yet. More fill colors. Why are you listing it in RGB? I didn't want it in RGB. here. Okay. I guess I can translate RGB. Let's do this, since I don't want to mess it up. RGB to hex. What? Can I just type them? Good. Looks like it is going to let me type them. So I want 64. The 64. And last one is 65 for the blue. So that is the color that is DevChatter gray right there, everyone. DevChatter gray. So let's go ahead and put this in for the background. Background color is that. So there we go. So it looks kind of dark on this, which is okay. I don't mind that. It does not match the background completely, so you can kind of tell that it's there. But now I want to make it a little bit more serious, maybe. Let's see. Where was I? So how about over here? Zultralord, it's in Discord. Awesome. Hey, Fuel Snable, welcome. Greetings. Link Slumps, welcome. You really need to pull your recent. Link Slumps. That would be a good idea. Pulling recent commits is always a good idea. Let's do that. I need to save this value. I need to save it. Site CSS. We need to put basic styling, tag selection. I'm just going to say available tag for now, because I don't have a better name for it, so we're going to say background. Color is that. Not bad. There's our available background color. Let's take a look at what we did with those rounded corners. So this should have a border radius right here. And let's toss in that, and I love the idea of doing a margin right on these, actually. Let's steal this. We're just going to start from that. So first off, the color, it's a button, so it should get its own color, I think. Well, no, we may need the color. What's DevChatter white? What is DevChatter white? Is it actually white? Group. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Fill. More colors. It is not white. Okay. That's fine. Its values. So DevChatter white is 243, 243, and 244. So it is this. There's DevChatter white. Not quite white. Let's see. Oh, a bunch of other people in the chat. You're happy to report that that color looks good. Of course, as an old target guy, this makes it look happy because that is color 0 registered on target. Nice, Fuel Snable. I think you chose that color when we were doing our Final Fantasy VII menu testing stuff. Did you make the styles on this from scratch? Simon, no. We grabbed those from elsewhere, though I do still want to modify these a bunch. Some of these are reasonably okay, though. Are we using spaces? Riley Dub, everything's a space. You can tell because these little dots right here are all individual dots. If there were a tab in there, how am I going to get a tab to show you an example? Jeez, I have to force a tab character in somewhere. How am I going to... it's a great question. Just to show you what it looks like. Tab character. Yeah, okay. I don't know how to force a tab in here. Like, I can't just put one in. I don't know how to, because my editor is configured to not add in tabs. It just does 4 spaces when I hit the tab key. So I'd have to copy pasta one from somewhere. Yeah, Simon, I was looking for another app that I could grab a tab from. I guess I could grab one from, like, Word or something like that, right? Word could make a tab. Yeah, we'll do that. Word will give me a tab. So there it is. So notice the tabs that I put in here. Whoops. Let me just paste in 4 tabs so you can see. Really? Oh my god. VS Code. Come on, really? No, it won't do it. I'm seriously pasting in tabs, like, from Word, and it will not give me a tab. No, I can't, like, I have to go reconfigure my Notepad++. My Notepad++ is configured to not give me tabs also, I think. Pretty sure I have it turned off over there. So it won't actually give me tabs and give me spaces instead. I'll try it. Oh, okay, hang on. That one will do them. So I got 1 in, but now it won't even give me 1 tab. It's just saying there was more than 1, so we got rid of it. No, it won't even do it. It will not even paste them in there. It refuses. No, VS Code has my back. So no, we've got spaces. That's all we get. The Michael Jolly, I did not get the chance to do a Friday stream from the conference. I did have some of the stuff with me to give it a shot, but we did not make it happen. So I apologize about that. The event did go reasonably well. My talk went fine, so that was good. Oh yes, clearly that's what that means, the Michael Jolly. We're going twice as long today because of that. And by twice as long, we're gonna do a half-size stream today and then double it. So that way, you know, got twice as long. It was originally gonna be half-size, but we doubled it. So let's do that, Matt. Yeah, there you go. Sounds good, the Michael Jolly. Glad we're on board on that one. All right, hang on. Let me open back up my site CSS here. Okay, so we tossed these in here. We said available tag's gonna be that, and that tag's gonna be that. Let's take a look at what it's gonna look like real fast. I think I saved. Apparently, oh, I did save, but I didn't change the tags. Derp. What did I call it? Tag available tag? Well, that was derpy. Available tag. Wait, maybe it's just tag available. Tag available. That's what it's going to be called. So it leads with the word tag. Makes way more sense to me because then you can just be typing the word tag and you'll find all the stuff that is tag-like. Okay, so the tags for the available tags, tag selection, available tags, if this, that, and the other thing, and the class is no longer badge, it is available tag, tag available tag, and click. There we go. I want to shrink these because these don't have the X. So let's adjust the padding that we have in here. Down to 10, so it matches the other one. Okay, so we'll adjust it to this. By the way, if you didn't know this, pro tip, if you have one of these highlighted, you can actually just press the up and down keys on there, and it will just adjust them. So if you need to, like, kind of just wiggle it until you get the right shape, or you want to just test to see, like, which one it is, because maybe you can't remember what the ordering of the padding or the margin is, you can actually just grab them like that, and it will do exactly what you just saw on my screen. Just scrolling straight through them. And it is convenient, because then you can just go do that, and when I reload this, those look pretty nice. Now, the one problem that I've got here is the interface here shifts when I click this. So, for example, if I want to just click C#, now, without moving my cursor, I'm on available tags. So that's a problem that I want to fix here. I want this to still hold the size that selected tags would be at some point, or I need to shift things around so that when I select them, it doesn't move the control I was working with. Either way would be fine, but that is a less important change. So in this one, so we can select the tag and we remove it with that. With this one, I'm clicking straight on them, which I kind of like. However, I want them to have a hover when I do that. So let's make these hover style change, and I don't want those to underline either. So let's fix that as well. Yeah, so Simon, we'll either put in a placeholder text that is the same size as these, so that when it flips which one is displayed, there was no change. So we could put in like none selected, for example, if there are none. Or alternately, what we could do is just hold the gap open, and either one would be fine. Alright, so a couple of things that we need to do. So we need to add the hover styling and remove the underline, and then the other one we need to do is hold that space. So let's take a look. Holding the space. We'll take a look at that first. So on this, let's get rid of that so we have a little bit more space. Gonna make that a little bit more visible too. So we have tag selection. The problem is these spans don't appear if there isn't one there to show. So let's do this. So first, for the initial span, that's the word we were going for. We're gonna just put this in here for now, and we're gonna set it with a VIF. So this is just going to be a, hey, we didn't have that, let's display this instead. And we're just gonna say none selected for now. Which maybe we could also say this is show all. No, because that could be interpreted as a command. So we're going to say none selected. And our if. What do we want this if to be? This would be search filter dot selected tags. We can do that. So display that if this. These, because it's a for loop, will only display if there was one anyway. So we don't need an if on that. So this should work. Selected tags length. Oh, whoops. Equals 0. Derp. So none selected. So it shifts a little bit because it doesn't hold the same space. So we could also just make sure there's a held gap larger than they are. So let's figure this out. How big is this? Computed, including its margin. What is that? That is... It's like 18, so if we hold a space of about 20 pixels for this, I think that'll hold it. And not look silly. So let's take a look. So we want the tag selection div, so that's this right here. So tag selection should have tag selection? Really? Oh, no, there it is. Okay. I was about to say, I swear that is one. Let's give it a min height. So, because remember, we want this to be able to expand if we happen to end up needing like multiple rows of data, which can happen in the lower tag selection. We're just setting the minimum tag selection at this value. So right now I'm saying like 20 pixels is our minimum height. What? 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 I am so confused right now. Where did this other version come from? Compare? What are you smoking? I don't know where it got a different one from disk. No, it still shifts a little bit. Is it actually holding that space? This div. 20 pixels. Maybe 20 pixels isn't big enough. How big is the div right now? 27 pixels. Okay. So apparently I miscalculated. So we'll make it 27 pixels big. Minimum height, 27 pixels. There we go. Now it holds it. Okay. So whatever that is, let's just do this. Just to be sure, I'm going to make it 30 pixels and just look to see, does that look stupid? No. Okay. So we have reserved that, a minimum of that number of spaces. If this shifts down because you selected 2 rows worth, I am perfectly okay with that occupying some extra space. I have no problem with that. That totally would make sense. Let's go ahead and commit this as working. So this is styling the buttons and removing the multi-select. Style selected. Let's say style tag displays and remove multi-select. All right. Sorry about that, chat. Module text placeholder less than 0. Yes, Simon. Less than 0. Yeah, I guess I could say less than. Demand of asking questions. Naked Flame. No, absolutely. I love questions. Regarding ASP.NET Core project deployment, I might be able to answer the question. Depends on what it is. Some questions I might just tell you that it's going to take too long to answer, and you should take it offline to Discord or something like that. Did you change it in Visual Studio? I have no idea. I might have changed it here, but then it should have saved and reloaded over there. I'm not sure. So yeah, and thanks for tossing the Discord link in there, Riley Dunn. Much appreciated. Always nice when people can help you out with that kind of stuff. Did I not get the color adjusted yet? Did that get put back after that change? Is that what we lost? Double tag. No, it's there. And that color's there. Okay, so my white and my background color are still changed. It was just the padding that we lost? Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so we forced the minimum height. We added in some padding. The other thing we needed to lose was the words about the text. It's because of the fact that it's a button. That's the issue. So we need to make it not a button. It's still clickable, or not a link, I mean. It's still clickable, but we need to make it not a link. So this will be a span in here as well, which means it doesn't need an href. Oh, and it already got that adjusted as well. Okay, cool. So there we go. So as that, it does that. So now we need to make its cursor be the correct cursor. So what is it? It's cursor. Is it pointer that we want? It might be the one that we want. For available tag, because the whole available tag should be a cursor point, should be clickable. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the whole thing is clickable. When we hover it, we want the color to either darken or lighten, and I'm not sure which. We're starting with a dark gray. We could darken it further, or we could lighten it. Either way, but we do want it to change. So let's add in a hover on our available tag. So this one. Wait, what did you just do? When I pasted, are you telling me that when I pasted here, what did VS Code just do? Oh, it just adjusted that down. Oh, okay. I see what it did. Alright, so hover. I want to say the background color is going to lighten just a bit. And I see someone typing in chat, lighten or darken, maybe. Why did that tab over? Nothing else is tabbed over. Why don't you follow what I'm doing? Let's just do this. We'll just shift that way and see what it looks like. We're just gonna take a guess, and then future changes will be over here to tweak. Oh yeah, that looks great. Look at that. You can tell which one you're selecting. Perfect. I'm not even gonna tweak that color. That looks fine. What does this look like in our default coloring? Oh yeah. So those are pretty dark in this screen, but I'm still kind of okay with that. How's this look here? Ooh, not bad. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good in all three themes that we have right now. So I'm fairly okay with that. That's not bad. Let's see. So you guys some test data for science. Hey SNB, welcome. You made it. Greetings. Hi. The Naked Flame, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. The Naked Flame. You were wondering if you could give you a recommendation for hosting a solution, which is funny because you are asking a question now, but I really should mention that. I am Ruck. Hello, greetings. I will answer your question about Blazor in a second. And anybody else that... oh, no, a duck. You know, and a paramedic. First off, welcome. I don't think I said hi to either of you. So, and Janisku, hello as well. If I missed anybody that has recently said something that I hadn't greeted when you got here, please let me know. You're wondering if you can give you a recommendation for a hosting solution for ASPNET core project with a database. I am debating about using the DigitalOcean since I like the idea of how it's a credit system with PayPal. Just wondering if you could suggest any based on your experience. The Naked Flame. So I don't have a lot of great recommendations for that kind of thing. And part of the reason why is projects that I work on are going to fall into one of two boats. They're either going to be a project that I'm hosting myself, at which point I'm going to use whatever free hosting I happen to have access to, or free or cheap hosting that I have access to, that not everyone has the same deals that I do for being able to do that kind of stuff. So I can't make a great recommendation there. I put my stuff on Azure, but that's because Azure will give me like free credits to be able to keep my stuff posted somewhere. So hence why that's not a fair like spot, right? Because like if I'm not paying for it, yes, of course I'm choosing that. So I can't really give you a great recommendation on that one, because the other side of things is that I'm making a recommendation for a company that usually has a budget that is able to support having it hosted by something, again, like Azure, where they can also pay for support, reliability, and things like that. So I cite, for example, I've worked with more than one company that has wanted to get their stuff onto both Azure and AWS simply for being able to survive an outage of one or the other and still be live. So like, if you don't want to have your own hardware and you want to be in a cloud somewhere and you want like that absolute reliability of we are not going down, then yeah, one of the options is get yourself on AWS and Azure. Yeah, exactly. As Flowseeker mentions, Azure and AWS get pricey. What I would recommend to anybody that wants to host an ASP.NET Core application somewhere is look into cheap Docker hosting and make sure that your app runs there. So that is really the answer. Find some cheap Docker hosting and deploy it using Docker. So, and yeah, so Simon is right. There are some variances in those things based on the pricing. You do get what you pay for, because I will say that the support you can actually get, like when you get the good support, you know, there's obviously bad experiences everywhere. But some of those more expensive hosting solutions, you can get some fantastic results from it. I am Ruck. You asked what my opinion is on Blazor. I think Blazor is an awesome idea. I think it's really cool. I think people are going to do some amazing stuff with it. The idea of being able to leverage C# code that is existing out in code bases on the internet and be able to throw that into a web browser, compiled into WebAssembly and running at fairly good speed on a person's client computer, I think is a fantastic idea. I like the idea of being able to have more language options on browsers as well, as I think that will be a nice solution for people that do not want to learn JavaScript, as I believe there are going to be a lot of devs that don't want to. That does not mean that C# is going to be the answer. There could be other options aside from C# that also get compiled down to WebAssembly, but that is why, generally speaking, I love the idea of WebAssembly. I do also like the JavaScript language, but I totally understand that some people don't, like, you just don't grok it. Like, there are languages that I struggle with, and there are languages that I just get like that. And so with each person, there's different circumstances, and so I think it's fantastic that we're going to be able to have more programming on browsers. So, positive, 100%. I think it's great. Blazor's so awesome. Yes, people love it. And yes, Blazor's no longer experimental, so that does mean that it's going to get some more backing and be probably a safer thing to actually put stuff on. You plan to deploy a student project and you need it to be accessible for a month so it can be marked before you take it offline, so nothing fancy. Oh yeah, so Naked Flame, you just need you essentially just need some cheap hosting. You could even do Linux hosting. So, I mean, pretty much any, because keep in mind that ASP.NET Core can run on Linux, so just find any cheap hosting that you can. Does the site need good performance, or do you just need it to run? Because some of the performance is really going to be based on the hardware you put it on as well. Oh, Riley Dumb, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, when it comes in, we'll be able to tell if you changed any tab spacing. And yes, as Flowseeker mentions, most of them do have pretty good agreements in place for how much time they're allowed to be out. Simon has a hilarious suggestion there. Okay, so either way, that looks reasonably good. Those highlight, that's just fantastic. Hooray. So this is going to be make available tags look more button-like. Someone's gonna yell at me about that. That's fine. So those look pretty good. Did the color of that change out of curiosity? Do those shift? No, because we're not using a theme style necessarily for it, are we? Actually, we sort of are. What's that using? Button success? Okay, that's fine. Alright, that looks great. Let's adjust the next UX problem. So I said UX channels page, actually. So let's PR that then. because that's actually pretty done. Oh, there's another pull request. That must be the one you mentioned, Riley. I'm assuming that's yours. I didn't actually see it. This is tweaking tag selection on channels page. Let's say I'm gonna say changing instead of tweaking because we swapped it out. Changing the tag selection on the channels page. We'll send that. Oh, I should have drafted. Dang it. Okay. So tag with count. Do I even need that anymore, or are we counting? Hang on. Wait a minute. Do I do that before the initial load? Hang on, everyone. I will check a question. I see conversations going on in chat, but I think I might have missed something. Hang on. I might be doing extra work. So when we load this, do I do a count? So variable search tags this. I know I do another count somewhere. Where do we do it? Tag search, click tag, search for computed available tags sort. So this is based on. Whoa! Shouldn't matter, but let's fix that. Someone was gonna think that was hilarious. My reaction to that. So pull these values. That's the channels. And then this channels equals that, and then if we have channels, so then we load this and then we set the count. Yeah, I don't think we're using it anymore. Okay, so what that means is let's go to the tags, tags with count. This was just tag before. And what was it? It was just find tags? It was find. What? I mean, I understand as a okay, that's fine. This is gonna return back tag. Rambling Geek. You posted a link. Okay, anyway. Let me see what's going on. Whole bunch of stuff. Jeez, I should have paid more attention to chat. Something, do it in a container is the short answer, yes. Brendan, could you show the process of submitting a pull request to an open source project? Flowseeker, potentially. If you ask on our Discord, I think someone else could potentially help you set that up. I think you sent us one. It's also good to ask yourself if you need an agreement from the employer before doing a PR. Some companies take IP more seriously than others. That is actually true. Fuel Snable's right. If you do work for a company, you got to make sure that they're okay with you sending pull requests to projects, because some actually make you sign contracts where like anything you work on belongs to them. So, which is really absurd. Horkrine, hello, greetings, welcome, long time no see. Things are going well, and I am glad. Yeah, my hair. I thought my hair looked reasonably nice today. So, yeah, you put it in Discord. Okay, cool, Rambling Geek. If one of our mods, like S&B, is here, S&B should be able to get the link into chat. I think our VIPs can do it too. So Simon can post links, I believe. Not 100% on that. If Nightbot hits you, Simon, I apologize. Okay, so we did tag search fine. Let me go ahead and build this project. Oh, yeah. So there's that too, as Horkrine mentions. Oh god, Rambling Geek. Oh man, this is gonna be so bad. Hang on, I'm gonna click this. This is gonna be terrible, isn't it? This is based on whoa. So this is based on That's... whoa. Oh man. Oh jeez, that is good. That is terrible. Oh man. Oh, that's good. Love it. The stuff that happens on and to think some people like recorded content better than than live streams. What absurdity. I don't know how that could be possible. Who could possibly think it was better than that reaction? Alright, so I think that works. We have removed count from this, so let's check out toViewModel here, which no longer do we need the tag with count one, because we're nuking that, we think. So we're going to say tag with count is just going to go away, so we put that in core tagging, huh? So core tagging, that actually whole folder gets to go away. Bye-bye, core tagging. Did we leave any remnants of tag with count anywhere? About to find out. Yes, we did. Using statement, I'm betting. Yep. Is that the only thing? Let me check that again. Another using statement. Figures. So what I get, I normally hit Control-RG all over the place, which, by the way, is a shortcut that will organize your usings. Find tags with count. Ah, this is the one that implements that that thing. So I no longer need to find with count on this. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go cheat. Why am I doing this? Oh, that's hilarious because we did it that way before. Okay. Hang on. Let me take a look at things. Welcome, developers. Probably listening to an ad right now, so they can kind of laugh at me. It's not just the ownership that is the problem. Your company might get into the problems if you do open source contributions to any project. You might patent infringement lawsuit or lawsuits challenging your existing patents because of a PR. Costs can go up to billions of dollars if you're unlucky. So, welcome, Robert Tables and friends. Let's see. We got a whole bunch of awesome people. Greetings. Welcome, developers. Glad to see you're all here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Saturday. We're doing a little bit of ASP.NET Core coding right now. I am ripping out some stuff in my project that I realized I had done some stuff that was unnecessary, so we are trashing it and replacing it with what it was before. So if you are someone that is interested in C#.NET or any of that kind of fun stuff, I want to welcome you to our stream because this is a place where you are going to find what you are looking for. For those of you that don't know, my name is Brendan, and deleted code is the best code, Robert Tables. I agree. So we are a stream that does a lot of live coding here. We are friends with Robert Tables, who is another awesome streamer, and although interestingly, Robert, you've been doing, and it's funny, I'm going to keep calling you Robert, because, you know, that's your handle. You've been doing a lot of hardware stuff lately, which is kind of cool. So if anyone is interested in that, you should check out Robert's stream, as he does, I see a soldering stuff on your stream, which is really, really good. I am impressed by that. It is not something I've ever really learned how to do, so very cool. we are working on our DevStreams site. So if you haven't seen this project, I will go ahead and show it to you here in a minute. I think I got everything fixed. We just chopped out some code that was doing stuff that we didn't need to do anymore because we do it at a different place now, and it is better. So refresh, cross fingers. Let's see, does it work? It does. Okay, so here is the idea that we're looking for. So we are building a community site for developer live streams. So, for example, my stream would be on here, and Robert's stream would be on here as well. And this would actually be open to any site that does live coding. So it's not like a, not like our stream team or anything like that. So anybody can go on here if you do any kind of coding, whether it's your main focus or not. And you could even do it even if you're a corporate thing. So if you stream for your company, that could be here as well. Our plan is to make this nice Find Channels page. We just finished restyling this piece so it's a little bit nicer. So it still doesn't look great yet. Remember, this was done by a developer, not a designer. So grain of salt. It is nicer. So I can restrict down to just the sites that use C#, and maybe I specifically want .NET Core, and so I click that one as well. And we get, hey, C# and .NET Core are our only options, and there it is. So that restricts it down. The next thing that I really want to do to make this work a little bit better, if the number of tags if the count, see how it says there's one channel with each one, if that number matches the total being displayed, I want to not show it anymore, because there's no reason to show these choices when I've already restricted to the only channel that is available. Now, if I remove one, then I suddenly want to be able to show these again. So the ones are okay, as long as there were two down here. So it's if ever these numbers are the same. So JavaScript and web development don't need to display because that is literally all of them. So that's the idea. If you are a tag that restricts to all of them, there's no reason to display the tag. So that's one of the little pieces that I want to get in there. So let's quickly add that as an issue here on our GitHub. We're going to say hide irrelevant tags on channels page. Hide tags which don't do any filtering on the channels list page. That means if there are 10 channels displayed and they all have the tag, don't show the tag. Clicking it would do no filtering. I think that makes sense. That is absolutely just an enhancement. I think that would be a fantastic first issue for someone, because that is, again, a pretty easy one. It's limited to one spot, so I think you could change that pretty easily. You don't need a lot of domain knowledge about the project or anything like that. It's just a simple little bit of JS. So, cool thing. Robert Tables, you love this. I agree. I think it is an awesome project to have going here. Don't... SNB? What is SNB? Hang on. What's SNB doing that's going to kill his wallet? What? SNB? What did SNB say? SNB, I just bought a beginner's guide to the Raspberry Pi. Oh! Yes, you will kill your wallet. They're not wrong. Let's see. Do you need a tag on your stream to get on there? Horkrine, so we were going to have you actually define your tags over here in this system, with the idea being that we don't want you to be limited to just the tags that Twitch has. And the reason I say that is because Twitch is likely not going to get all the tags that we want to have, so we want to have things like languages that you use, frameworks that you use. Maybe you have a heavy focus on writing Twitch API stuff, for example, and you want to put that on there. So maybe someone's like, hey, I want to learn more about the Twitch API. Let me follow some streamers that do stuff with the Twitch API so I can ask them about it. That would be something you could put in there. Maybe someone does game modding, for example. Game modding is absolutely not a tag on Twitch, but again, if you're interested in that and you want to find channels that do it, the only way to find them when they're not live is going to be this channel, so this website. So that's the point. We want to be able to support those. Right now, I don't have a place for like users to add in tags because I'd be worried about like just a swath of repeat tags. So like C# spelled both C and a pound sign, and like, you know, C-SHARP and C-SHARP. So, like, I don't want to have, like, a flood of duplicate tags, because then no one will be able to find it, because you won't know which one the channel used. So that's part of the reason why that's cut down right now, which I guess I know it doesn't scale if it's on me to add that, but we'll try to get a community of people to help with that at some point, so it's not just me. If number of active streams equals active streamers in category. Yes, that's basically correct, Horkrine. Do you need like a tag on your stream to recommend checking it out? Refactoring UI, really useful for learning. Wait, James, did you mention something? Checking out refactoring UI, really useful to learning, make UI pretty as a developer. Web design is like refactoring. If it looks better after you're finished than it did when you started and everything still works, you're doing okay. Yes, Simon, I 100% agree with what you just said there. I will have to check out refactoring UI, James. And I still can't remember if that's Jameson or James N. So another thing that I would actually recommend, if people are interested in learning more about design, and specifically this one would be more appropriate if you need to do design stuff. This is general rules of stuff to do, rules to follow, and learning how it actually works. There is a fantastic course from Mark Miller, who's the guy that does the Code Rush streams. You should check out The Science of Great UI and Design Like a Pro. I am, let's say, not great at design, but oh man, did I learn a ton from Mark. So let's see, got it from work is let's look at the web page, the only important metric. Fuel Snable, look of a web page is an important metric. A little bit of a plug, but Humble Bundle has a full stack dev course we're going to develop for the first package. Yeah, very cool. Offlight, welcome. Thanks for that follow, much appreciated. Welcome to DevChatter. You put a link in Discord to Refactoring US. Yeah, Refactoring UI. Horkrine, thank you for posting that link in the Discord. And if you don't know, if you are new here, we do have a Discord that is fairly active. Not super active. And if you don't know what Discord is, first off, it is a chat application, but the thing that I really like about Discord, I had this conversation with Steve Smith at Stir Trek when we were there yesterday, and he was asking me whether or not I use Slack at all anymore, and things like that in Discord. And he was commenting that he like doesn't really hop on Discord anymore because he was getting too many notifications, and I was like, oh, Discord actually has like really good easy configuration. You just right click on channels that you don't want to hear about and you just mute them. So if you are not a Java dev and you don't want to hear about Java, Discord is free, Fuel Snable. You just right click on the channel and you say, you know, mute the Java channel, and you will get no notifications about that. You can actually also right click just the notification settings and you can say suppress the here and the channel, and you will not get notifications no matter who says here or channel inside of that channel. So you can absolutely block notifications from it. And that's one of the things I like, is that Slack, for example, if the owner of the Slack says that you can't mute those, you can't mute those. And I'm like, so I can either completely mute your thing entirely or leave if I don't like getting notifications, which is really stupid. But Discord's really good about it. So you do get control. Part of the thing I like about it. Really good configuration for all of that. So the thing Discord does well is permissions. It's also quite easy to use, and hard to complain about that. Alright, so did we get that all fixed up? Yes. Let's confirm by doing one of these. Let's take a look at the site. Developers. Hey, Offlight X. Welcome, Offlight X and friends. Thank you very much for that host. Glad to see you're all here. I don't know what you were just working on, because it doesn't tell me when you get here. But welcome. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Saturday. We are working on a little bit of code here. We're doing we're building an ASP.NET Core website. So this application's goal is to make it easier to find developer live streams that you'd be interested in watching. So right now we're building it straight for Twitch, but we do want to be able to support the live streamers that are in the YouTube communities as well, because we generally just want to support the developer community on the internet because we think it's fantastic. So welcome everyone. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic Saturday. You probably have now just gotten through the ads that Twitch made you watch. So if you are new here, my name is Brendan. This channel is DevChatter. We have been, we're on episode 190 of our of DevChatter. So we have been streaming for about an hour and a half now, doing some stuff. We've fixed up the styling on this page, so we do a bit of filtering of our stuff. S&B, thank you very much for the 10-month resub. Oh man, Chatosaurus hype up in here. Between you and Greendorf, man, that is some good stuff. So that is, hey, good, Michael Jell, you got it. I was about to type in hype, so thank you very much for 10-month resub. That is some hype in the chat right there. Simon, isn't it Discord that has some really dodgy EULA that says they claim ownership of any content sent over their platform? Ooh, Simon, I don't remember, but I don't post any content really over there that I care about. They could be one that has a dodgy EULA. I'd be surprised by that because I know a lot of open source projects that do use Discord, so I would be really surprised if they had a EULA like that. Yeah, so Robert, yes, I know, it's kind of an annoying thing. So right now, if you are a, if you are, how to say this, an affiliate and you are on Twitch, they do run ads when people join your channel now, which they didn't before if the people were Twitch Prime users. So Twitch Prime users used to skip the ad entirely. And I believe it was like a month ago-ish that that deal with Twitch Prime ended, and now everyone's getting ads unless they're a subscriber to your channel. So if they are subscribed to your channel, they should skip the ad when they show up, but that's about it. Everyone else is now getting ads. And the money for that goes to Twitch rather than to the affiliate, which is kind of annoying. Like, I kind of sit there and I'm like, they should give, like, I understand that they give the partner, like, to give the partner a better revenue, share of that, but at least, like, you wouldn't get much, but you'd at least be like, you wouldn't feel quite so bad about someone watching it, like, I should say, as a viewer, you wouldn't feel quite so bad about seeing an ad if any of the money at all were going towards the stream you were watching. So it is kind of annoying when it's like, I'm showing an ad and none of that money goes to the person whose stream I'm watching, like, they're making the content, so kind of silly, but meh. Yes, Riley Dumb is correct. So if you want to just have a blanket one, you need to have Twitch Turbo now. So the Turbo subscriptions, which is a different, so you can have both Prime and Turbo, and that is different sets of advantages on Twitch now, and that does get rid of the ads everywhere. Yeah, I don't know, Simon. If it is, let me know, because that would be at least something that I'd want to know about. So, okay. So we have these tags, they definitely work. Everything seems to look nice. Yeah, Amazon with all the money there. Gotta get all that money. Okay, so this is remove unused tag with count code. Push that. Yeah, so Turbo does not give you the free channel subscription. Amazon Prime does. So, meh. Alright, let's take a look at our next. So this, did I push it? I did. Okay. So that means if I go out here. Oh, whoops, that's the issue. I want to take a look at the pull request. It's going to be right here. 7 files changed. That's better. I did not change 10 files. I only changed 7. Okay, so we deleted some unused code here. Love it. Always happy to delete unused code. Deleted unused code there. Added a count to the tag view model. We can get rid of that. Hang on, we're gonna get rid of that. Not keeping that. This is why it's a good idea, even if you are the one that did the pull request, review your pull request, because you could have had something in a previous commit. So I had a previous commit where it made sense to add this, but now it doesn't, so I am getting rid of it. Well, hang on. Follow the rules and at least do this, bare minimum. Prime gives you a free sub, ad block for the win, and just run ad block. Oh. Yeah, some people just run ad block. Yeah, if you're paying for a service, it's kind of annoying to watch ads. That's the kind of thing that that you get from some services like Hulu. Personally, I would cancel a service that shows me ads, and I am paying for it. You mean like cable? Yeah, the Horkrind's correct. The Amazon Prime benefits with a free sub on Twitch is fantastic. I will pay for Amazon Prime. Like, I pay for it for the shipping. Like, the fact that I then get the video and the stuff, that's when I'm like, nope, I'm not getting rid of it. I'll keep it. I will gladly pay for this. Like, this ad supports channel you're watching. Horkrind, yeah, you're right. It does support Twitch, but at least with the partner, they're getting a cut. We have a problem here. I broke this. I'm confused. Hang on. Where is this used? Return that. That makes no sense. Then that breaks with no error? It's there, and we have the count. I wonder if it's because the... What? The tags are here. Is it maybe because the tags weren't there to begin with? Alright, let's watch the network tab. Hang on. So there's the request for the tags. Was there a previous request for the tags? We requested the tags and then we did that. Okay, I'm gonna put it back for now. We're just gonna leave it there. Leave it alone. That's fine. You win thing. Maybe someone has a good suggestion in chat for why that's behaving so oddly. Anyway. Man, chat blew up while I was paying attention to that for a second there. Let's see. Only watch live TV or BBC ad player. Try to prime free, but since they're showing me ads, I'm not going to continue. So Fuel Snable, you won't really see ads for Amazon Prime Video, but Amazon Prime and Twitch Prime are not exactly the same thing. And the Amazon Prime Video, you'll be watching a movie and they'll occasionally show an ad for one of their other movies before it starts, but that's the only thing I've ever seen an ad for on that. And yes, people are correct. Twitch is not considered to be the same thing as broadcast, at least within the U.S. They're not treated legally the same way. CMG Chris Jones, hey, welcome. Greetings, and sorry about Nightbot getting you there. As SNB says, Nightbot strikes again. You've had a fair amount of run-ins with the law, and you can assure you, if you don't watch live TV or use iPlayer, you don't need one. I don't know what you mean there, Horkryan. That seems, hopefully everything's okay. I especially love that YouTube shows ads for pirated IP. I don't know which ads you're talking about. So when I stream my own thing, I don't see my ads, so I don't know what they're running, even. Oh, and he lurked. Ace Flames here. I love it when I listen to meditation music and an ad plays. Just be. I know, Ace Flames here. You almost want like the. You almost want the channel that runs like that kind of music, like relaxing music, to be able to say something along the lines of, you know, only ads that are also relaxing are allowed to be, played. You know, like don't suddenly play like some action films trailer or something like that. Oh yeah, TV licensing in the UK. I do not know, heck, I don't know most of the licensing laws around in my country, let alone the world. It is ridiculously complicated. So the Michael Jolly, I don't think we have a point when we want this to actually be running live somewhere. The main things that we need to fix, hey, CM Griffin, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome, welcome. Since there are some... Wow, good. People are in chat. Hey, hey, greetings. Hopefully you're all not watching ads. I'll wait a minute and greet you some more when you get here. But welcome. The Michael Jolly, the answer to your question, I want to get this running soon, but I want this page... so I wanted this page to be working the way it is, roughly speaking, now. I want to pull a little bit of data from this page so that this data is coming from Twitch a little bit more, and then the last thing I want to do before we put this live is adjust the UX on this page. So the calendar page, I want this to actually display like a calendar, and I want these filter controls that we have here at the top, I want these to display a little bit nicer. They're just kind of here right now, but once we have those, then I want to put this live and actually let people start using it. Then we can start updating it with improvements over time, but that's the main stuff that I want to get in place. CM Griffin and friends, welcome, greetings, hello, my name is Brendan. Hopefully you're all done watching that ad at the beginning, and I apologize for that. That is outside of our control. As affiliates here on Twitch, we cannot control whether or not it shows you an ad. That is all based on your status with Twitch. SNB, yes, I will answer that question in a moment. Welcome, Raiders. Glad to see you're all here. Hopefully, CM Griffin did some good stuff. I always enjoy his streams when I'm there. We are doing some C# ASP.NET Core web development, so if you haven't seen that kind of stuff before, feel free to hang out. We're using VueJS to make this all work. We currently just wrapped up sending in a pull request to our own project here, and let's make sure it looks okay. So we did some styling changes. We're trying to fix up the UX in our site. We are building a community site, which I think you would all be interested in because it is actually being built for all of our benefit. And I mean our because it's my benefit, your benefit, as well as all of the streamers and viewers of the online streaming code community. So welcome everyone. We are setting this up so that we can have a place to find streams that you might be interested in. And it looks like I actually have a couple of pull requests to review, because Riley Dom is working on a drafted pull request there. So not ready for me to look at yet, but I will take a look at it when it is no longer just a draft. I love the fact that you can draft things, by the way. I'm guessing Raimu, welcome. Thanks for that follow, much appreciated. Hello, everyone. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Saturday. We are going to go ahead and jump into things. once again. My answer to SNB's question, because I am going to get that answered. SNB is wondering how my talk went yesterday. I thought it went pretty well. I did a talk where I was letting people know what kinds of things they should be looking for in C#. That is, C# 7 and C# 8 are the main things that I was talking about there. That's C# 7.0, 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, and 8.0. 8.0 is not released yet. It is the new version of C# that is coming in the future. I did a talk on those pieces, and the reason I do that two-part thing is... welcome, FD God, and the reason I do those two parts is, first, there are a lot of features of C# that people are not using, and so I want to make sure that they know about those, because there's a lot of stuff that you can learn about the language, even with the feature set that you currently have available to you, as there's plenty of stuff that I don't know about that's in the language, plenty of stuff you don't know about. So I boil it down to, here's the interesting, cool stuff that you should know about that is available to you, and then the next thing... so we're expecting that you know some of those. We're going to look at what C# 8 is. So I love giving those kinds of talks because there's a little bit of practical and a little bit of looking at the future. So there's value now and value to look ahead. So that's what I love about that kind of talk. Lots of cool things going on with that. I mentioned to people at the beginning of our stream that that those talks were recorded. So if you want to see my session from Stir Trek, I'm not sure when they're going to be up, but it seemed like they were going to take about 2 months, because that's how long it took them last year to get all the talks up. They were professionally recorded, but with an unmanned camera, so which was really annoying because I'm a speaker that moves around a lot. So when I give talks at conferences, I'm usually all around the area. But they were like, here's this small like 3x3 box that we need you to stand within so you stay on camera, because they repeat broadcast me into overflow rooms as well. So that's how it goes. Okay, so, yes, and welcome everyone. Thank you for that raid, Mr. Sir, indeed. Gotta love emotes that get spammed in chats when raids happen. Draft PR so helpful. Exactly, Riley. Allowed me to see my VS was using... Yes, you can review it before you send it in. That's the best part. Western Rocket, hey, you've been lurking for a few episodes. Welcome. Glad you decided to chime in. Look really interesting. I want to make a website like what you're making, but where do I get started? So many tutorials and courses, so it gets overwhelming. Western Rocket. So there are a lot of places you can go to look for those tutorials. And if it's just the number of them is overwhelming, I don't really have a great answer, because I would encourage us to get more of them, just because then you're more likely to find one that lines with your way of doing things. But my main recommendation is go ahead and grab VS 2019, start up a new web project, and what is going to happen when you do that is it's actually going to have a homepage. So if you just start it up, run it, and just get that far in, the main page of an ASP.NET Core website is actually going to have links to more resources. So that page it creates, the homepage, first off, you're eventually going to want to get rid of that stuff, but it starts with links to tutorials that explain it. So those are the standard Microsoft Docs ones, and they're pretty good, actually. Bill Wagner is actually one of the people that maintains the docs. He's in charge of that kind of stuff, as far as I know. And Bill is a brilliant C# guy, really awesome, great teacher. He used to be Microsoft Regional Director before he grabbed his blue badge and started working at Microsoft, but fantastic stuff that they're doing with all of their docs stuff. I am really thrilled to see so much effort being put into that. So that would be my recommendation. Create a site, get it running. Once you're at that point, you can get to those resources if the breadth of choices in the community is overwhelming. So if that's what the concern is. In case where you can toggle to show white space in VS... yeah, so Riley Dumb, that's what these dots are that I've got here on the side. So notice that the dots disappear. So like look directly above my head in that space on the left. So you can see those. The keyboard shortcut I'm hitting is I'm holding the control key and I'm then pressing RW, so you can think of that as like really white space. Yep, and that'll show and hide them. If they were tabs instead of spaces, you'd see arrows instead of dots. So tabs show as an arrow, dots, white space, spaces are dots. So that's how you can tell which one it is. Yep. Yep, exactly. Microsoft's working hard on their docs, and yes, so they're not perfect. They're still missing so much stuff, but the amount that they need to document and have like basic, getting started stuff for is really fantastic. So I have been thrilled with the docs.microsoft Teams efforts. Really, really a fantastic work being done there. And I am the funny thing being a huge start for the ASP.NET group, for example, was done by our good friend Steve. So Steve Smith, our Dallas, was one of the guys that they brought on as an outsider to help them build those docs. He's not part of the team, but they brought him in to help build it, and I really think the team has started running with it. But like right off at the beginning, they got a huge amount of help from being able to pull in an outsider to help them build some of that stuff. So I love a lot of what they're doing, but it is funny because I end up on an article and I'm like, hey, this is Steve's. This example's terrible, Steve. So, funny thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and make this code a little bit better. So I want I might stay on this branch because I'm pretty sure this is going to merge in, so I think it'll be a little bit easier if we're just working off of this one. We'll rename later. Oh, why did I close all those? Site.css. Let's open this back up. The page that I want to load is the calendar page. So we'll open calendar.html. And this is going to have streams calendar.js. So here we go. So first couple of things. On the calendar, we have the same multi-select that we did on our all channels page. So we're going to want to get rid of this as well. So we're going to have to look into Vue components soon. I'm not going to do this yet. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually just going to copy paste it. We'll see what matches up. And then that's how we're going to extract our component. So there's two ways to go about things. There's two general mindsets for how you extract duplication in your code. One of them is you don't create the duplication at all and you go to the more complex approach, creating the thing that you think is going to solve the duplication issue initially and put it in both places. That can work and has the advantage of the fact that you didn't spend the time duplicating. The problem that can arise if you go that route is you may misjudge what is the actual duplication. The approach that I like better is you make the two duplicate pieces, compare what's the same, and then you know what to extract. And you say, hey, this is where they're the same, so that's the duplication we're going to pull out. So works out pretty well. So that's the route I'm going to go with on this one, and then we will use a Vue component to extract out essentially a control that does the little tagging selection thing. So we'll have like an available tags and a select tags kind of control, because they're probably going to end up being the same basic component. We'll see. That's why I want to go this route, because if they don't line up just right, so it could be that we take the whole thing and we do selected and available tags as one component, or it could be that we realize, no, we need those to be two separate. And that's why I want to build it first and then extract the duplication so we can actually see what we're working with and make the right decision. Let's see. Schwartz, greetings, welcome, hello. Devs and chatters indeed. You can also configure VS whether you want tabs or spaces as default. How many spaces? Yeah, so VS will obey an editor config. So, Rhyme, you are correct. I should add an editor config to this project. We have one on our DevChatter bot project, but I don't think we have one on the DevStreams project yet, and we should. Chris Jones, I think you're correct. I think I don't believe there's a way in Visual Studio to tell it to override the editor config. So it should do that. And I believe there is a way to create an editor config based on the current status of things. Let me try this. Nope. Okay, we won't worry about that for now. Either way, let's take a look at this code. So we want, not that, not that, not that. So I want to get rid of this view multi-select control, but we're not going to do it just yet. Calendar, CSHTML. Calendar, JavaScript. What? Come on, stay open. Calendar, CSHTML. Okay. So we have site CSS, we have the calendar page, and what does this call? Where do we fetch from? API events, so we need events controller. And do we call anything else? We call the tags controller. Tags controller. Okay, so I'm just trying to open up the relevant pages that we're going to be working with here. And if anyone is wondering, I am running both VS Code and full Visual Studio. I do like them both. They do different things well. VS Code tends to handle JavaScript better than Visual Studio does. The Visual Studio can do a lot more really neat stuff with C#. So hence why I'm in each place. Holy stream delay. We shouldn't have that much stream delay, TBC. How bad's the stream delay right now? We are doing core stuff. I worked code duplication effort that reduced 5 lines of code, created 1 week of work for 2 engineers as the duplicated code created an implicit coupling between a database schema and API. And it doesn't change the API. Yes, Fuel Snable. That is correct. Sometimes the removal of the duplication is actually not worth it because the duplication doesn't really matter, and the complexity you would add just to get it is just absurd. At the moment, you're struggling with identity and authorization in ASP.NET. Core. Schwartz, you can take a look at what we've got in this site. We don't do a lot of identity and authorization and authentication stuff in it, but we do have it. How does the scheduled stream data get into the database and the app? So we have pages for it, and they take in all the data as local times, link slumps, and then what we end up doing with that is we convert it based on the location of the person. So if I'm a streamer and I tell it, hey, I stream at 2 p.m. and I'm in the America, New York time zone, for example, what that ends up meaning is I stream at 2 p.m. on this date from this location, so adjust for daylight savings time and any other considerations for me, I always start at 2 p.m. my time. So if your time zone switches, you need to make sure that you're showing up at the right time. Now, a lot of people say things like, why don't you just use UTC? And the short answer is, if I set 2 p.m. UTC and I set that during the winter, then that means I have set my time at 1900 UTC as the start time. However, in the summer, my stream starts at 1800 UTC. So clearly there's a problem. So that's the issue that you run into. And yes, S&B is correct. A streamer will enter it into this app manually. Yep, precisely. Your local stream delay is a couple of minutes. My laptop is just that crappy. Wow, I'm sorry. Yeah, and that's part of the reason. So people also ask me why I don't stream at 1080, and the reason why is because some people's hardware that they're running the stream on will struggle if it's at 1080, just based on what computer they've got. And since there's no guarantee that Twitch is going to scale my feed so that you can actually choose which one you want, I just stream at 720 so that no matter what, people don't get a horrible experience. So linked lumps, UTC is actually perfectly fine, but the way you want to use UTC is significant. So when you record that an event happened in the past, UTC is the way that you want to store it. If you're talking about events that happen either in a recurring form or happen at a certain point in the future, you don't want to use UTC. You want to use a time zone aware concept. So if it is a single point in time at a place, you want to store the time with the time zone. If it is recurring, you want to store it with the time zone and the local time it's supposed to happen, so that if local time changes, so if my country decides to get rid of daylight savings times, for example, you can account for that and display it correctly. But remember, you as a dev should not write your own time zone stuff. There are libraries that handle that. If you're in C#, I recommend Notatime. If you're in Java, I recommend Jotatime. And I think Moment.js handles it pretty well for JavaScript. I haven't delved too deeply into exactly how they do the calculation to ensure that they're doing it in a good way. Yes, Robert Tables, time zones. It is complicated, but important for developers to understand the basic concepts of, so that we don't mess it up. Okay, I am going to make sure that I get some more of this code written here. So what are we doing? We need to adjust how this page... So this page is loading its data. I want to adjust how we select tags. So let's show the available tags right off the bat. So step 1. We get tags by fetching them when the page is mounted. Fetch time zones, and this dot tag search. We're going to do a tag search with no filter, and that should load our tags. Let's check the tag controller just to see what it does if it gets no filter. So we want to check the tag search service. So we're going to say tag search service, and like nothing. So that would be essentially get them all. So that's fine. That's what we want. Oh, computer file time zones. Yes, Robert Tables. I haven't seen that video, but I'm sorry. I should say I have seen that video, but not watched that video. I know that it exists. Thankfully, I already know about the ridiculousness of time zones from having to work with them at multiple points in my career. It's actually why I had used Notatime multiple times before we brought John Skeet on to talk with us about it. But you can also watch that one, our thing, to see... Java time is basically Jota time after Java 8. Yeah, I'd heard that they implemented that a little bit better, Specimen, though I haven't specifically dug into time zone handling in Java. That was my most recent Java project. I didn't actually have to deal with time zones, which I'm happy about. Like, time zones, great to know how to deal with them, not fun. I didn't even think about it until the streaming duration was 2 hours? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Crimson Green, hello, welcome. Long time no see. I have not seen Crimson Green in about 24 hours, everyone. It has been about 24 hours since I have seen him in person. Because wasn't it 3:15? Well, it was probably like 3:20 when we took that group photo. So yeah, that's, oh man, that's probably S&B. The funny thing being here, oh, actually, no, it is dead. It is, like, super dead. I say because normally when it's dead, it still tells me that, that you ran the command, and that's why I'm so confused and why I was thinking that it was, like, a Twitch disconnect. But maybe it is a Twitch. I think it's a Twitch disconnect that actually happens. I'll restart the bot and we'll take a look. Either way, let's grab those tags initially. So actually, let's do this. DevStreams site, build the site. Let's reload the page. Just in case I changed anything, I want to reload this page. We're gonna do this as well. Okay, so tags are loading initially. That's great. Glad to see that's working. Bot should be back in here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned it in here. I actually added a slide to my presentation calling out Crimson Green in my talk yesterday. So luckily he was sitting in the audience. So was Fishing Dev, by the way, who I haven't seen in the stream today. So Fishing Dev, if you're here, feel free to chime in. But it was kind of funny. I added a slide because I know Crimson had gone to see the movie that I will mention nothing about the movie, by the way. So I watched a movie yesterday that is one that people will not want spoilers about, so no words coming from me about it. But I did, as the second slide of my presentation, third slide of my presentation, was just a comment that was just saying no spoilers or something like that, and Crimson did realize that that was a reference to him, because I knew that he had gone to see that and was going to be in the audience, so that was a no spoilers for the movie. It's Avengers Endgame, S&B, not Infinity War. Infinity War was last year. Spoiler. Thanks, Robert Tables. That's not the spoiler I meant, but appreciate it. Crimson Green, you're on spoiler protection duty since we have now mentioned the movie. Feel free to, since you have seen it now twice, feel free to delete any comments, whether true or not, that people actually make about the film in the chat. Just because I don't want people, like, no one wants it to get spoiled. Okay, so here's what we need to do. So we fetch that data. Let's show it on the page. So the way we're going to do that is this. We are going to add the index, this one. No, this one? Yes. So we're going to show this. We're going to have selected tags and available tags and this. So here is essentially what I think is going to be the component. Pretty sure this is going to be the component, but I'm not 100% yet, because we might decide to shift these bits around. And if we do, then this will not be the component. So date, time, this. Where is our multi-select? Here it is. So that's this. So, am I brave? I'm feeling brave today, everyone. Chop! That's how brave I'm feeling. Brave enough to get an exception? Thanks, Visual Studio. I don't even know what that was about. Alright, so we have this, we have show more, show less, etc., etc. Data models is loading tags. That's all tags. Model. We called it model. Model and included tags. Weird. Why did I give it that name? Maybe I should call it search filters also. All right. For now, I'll stick with this. That's fine. But model and included tags are the new names for this. Let's see, where is it? Click tag, tag selection. Here we go. Model included tags. Hang on, I'll check chat in a second. I see you all typing. Available tags needs to get created in the back end, because that needs to be computed. Oh, I made little computed shortcuts. That's what I did over here. Oh, that was so smart of me. Available tags. You know what, I'm just going to steal available tags from the other one. Who am I kidding? I'm not rewriting this code. Channels. X right here. Again, this is getting pulled into the, it's getting pulled into the component, so I'm not worried about the duplication. All of this is getting extracted to the component, so when it gets duplicated, it doesn't matter, because we are going to pull it in there. This is just to show what the duplication is before we actually extract it. So that's this. Click tag and show more or less. That's right here. That's where that goes. Okay. All right. Glad you got your band hammer ready. Your favorite bit was, yes, S&B. Yeah. Oh, I liked Thor Ragnarok. It was very fun. It was a very fun film. Different from many of the others. Still gotta watch Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 1. There you go. Thanks, Ace Flames here. That's a good spoiler right there. Let's see what happens. This page should have a couple of errors. We're missing some of the code that we need to have in place. Let's see what these errors are, because it'll tell us. Cannot read properly selected tags of undefined. Yep, that's in one of our methods. Search filters is not defined. That's fine. Take a look. So we said search filter selected tags. That's not what it is. This is going to be model.included tags. Right? Whoops, this is not the one. That's the wrong page. I meant to do this one. Right there. Model.included tags. Cannot read property selected tags of undefined. In what? Streams calendar JS line 3. Okay. So apparently line 3 of this? Really? That seems incorrect. Let's just look for selected tags. There it is. So we said available tags is going to be model included tags. So there we go. So this click tag also is going to be model.included tags. Again, and I see people saying stuff in chat. I'll be there in a sec to catch up with you. Whoops. There we go. I should almost pull that constant out in this one, just to maintain that better too. But I won't worry about it. Let's find out. Hey, there we go. We got all the errors fixed. Nice. So we need to figure out why our available tags aren't there. That's fine, though. We'll make that work. It could be because we're filtering it out. Available tags is probably not lining up correctly because the collection we're comparing it against doesn't have anything, so the count is always 0, and so that's why they're getting hidden. Because they're based on channel data in here, and I don't have channel data. So let's get rid of that because the data is not local. So that concept doesn't apply. We don't need to use available tags. This concept doesn't exist in this page. Available tags is not a thing here. So tags. Tags. Reload. There we go. So these tend to work. They're not hiding based on being selected though, so I do need to put that back because that actually was supposed to be in there. And let's put these back then as well, because this was actually supposed to be on which tags were selected is how we restrict, not based on count. So it's that we cut, and we no longer need the sort because we don't have the count to sort by. So we do that instead. Let's see what that does. I hate it when a site sends me to a document undefined. That'd be weird. Don't need a semicolon if you use in Python. That's true. You don't need a semicolon if you use in Python. You also don't need curly braces either because it's white space dependent to determine what scope you're in for everything. Yeah, Python is a very fun language. I actually used to teach Python. And I used to program in Python as well. Okay, good. So these are working. So it does take these and toss them up here. Well, that was weird. So there was a bug there. We're going to want to figure that one out. So show less. The show more, show less button doesn't seem to be working. Let's figure that one out. Show more tags is not defined. This dot show more tags. Ah, that's a property. Cool. Yep. We didn't have this, so hence why it busted. So let's do show more tags, and now all of a sudden, this page should work. Show more tags. Yep, there we go. Show less, show more, show less, show more. So look at all those tags that you got to choose from. So many tags. Most of those tags are worthless, but I can click them, and that's what matters. So the UI is not perfect. It's got some issues. We could use some things like being able to clear the list or add to the list and things like that, but it does generally work, and so that's a pretty big win. Hey, Stoolpenner, welcome, greetings. Loving the 9+ month sub badges that everyone's got there in the chat. Really love those, as well as the year ones. Crimson Green, I don't know if you saw, but today Greendolf joined you with the 12-month resub and picked up that that smiling Chatosaurus as well. So very cool. A couple of things I do want to mention, since there are a bunch of people in chat that might not be regulars here. If you haven't clicked that follow button yet, be sure to do so, as that is the best way to get notified when we go live, when we're going to be working on this project, or any other projects that we do here on the stream, as there are a lot of them. Okay, so here's my question. So right now it keeps showing us this DevChatter one. So that means this is not respecting my tag selection here. So it clearly doesn't care, because those tags are not associated with DevChatter. That data should have disappeared. Why didn't it? Let's take a look. See. We could do the tag filtering locally or on the server. I'm not sure which way we want to go. S&B, yes, you'll have an adult Chatosaurus in June. That sounds right, because you're at 10 months, so May, June, yeah. In June, you will have an adult Chatosaurus, fully grown and happy about it. So, we're watching selected country, included tags. I'm putting a debugger there because I'm not confident that that's working the way that I think it is. No, it is. We fetch events. Okay, so it is just the events that are not respecting the tags. So that's fine. So when we call fetch events, what do we pass? Fetch events. Why did I create local date that we're not using? This must have been incomplete. Selected date. So you have to have a selected time zone, you have to have a selected date in order for us to even consider running this. As long as you do, we're going to call this, and we're going to pass in convert date to local? Which does that. Okay, so that's receives that, receives that. So events is receiving the full model. So that we're not using anymore. So we're just going to get rid of that, because dead code needs to be gotten rid of when you notice it. Just as a general rule, just try to do that. So we're going to open up the events controller, and we're going to take a look. When we call this events request model, what's on it? Included tags, tag view model. So let's drop a breakpoint here. We're going to find out what came up with that data. S&B. Yeah, the GraphQL endpoint probably has this data. I think it does have all the event data, so we'll switch to using that. This is still using the old code, so we'll take a look. For now, let me check this out, just because I want to see if this is even passing the data or not. So this is probably not going to have it at all. So no included tags, and that is checking today from Europe, London, which is correct. We check C#. Does this have C# in it? Yes. Pretty sure. C# ID 1. Okay, cool. So that data is coming up. So that's positive. Let's use the GraphQL endpoint. SNB is 100% correct. We should be using the GraphQL endpoint for this. That's why it exists. So that we don't have to use our other ones. So let's go to the UI playground and write a little thing. So we don't want live channels. What are our available queries in GraphQL that we could leverage to get this data? We could pull all channels based on that filtering by tag. We don't want to pull that. We might need to make a new one, potentially. So if we ask for channels, so we want to ask for channels. Can we filter based, like, we have tag IDs. We need more arguments then. If we're going to do that. We're going to need some more arguments. The only JS front end that I'm familiar with is AngularJS. I like it, but I hear VueJS has a lower learning curve than Angular. That is correct, Crimson Green. One of the other things that makes it a lower learning curve to get used to VueJS is the fact that you can basically just drop in a reference to VueJS and use it immediately, and it just works, and you can literally put that on a single page and be messing with VueJS. So that's what makes it just so ridiculously easy, is you can kind of just slap it in. There's no extra work, there's no configuration, it doesn't take over your site. You could literally decide, hey, for this one page, we're going to start using VueJS before we put it everywhere, and you can. And it's just easy. And you can be like, yeah, we're going to do it for this small little thing. We want to do basic binding on this page and just see how it works, and done. You're good. And it can be on your existing project. So it makes it super easy. Yes, exactly. Love for Vue.js. They really did a fantastic job building it. That's not to say that I don't love all the other, like, Angular's great, React is great, Aurelia is great, fantastic frameworks, do lots of great stuff. I used to use Knockout back in the day. Knockout was great at the time. Heck, jQuery was great at the time as well, because the thing that I always mention to people is, so I used JavaScript back in the 90s. I pretty much stopped using it because having to mess with the DOM was such a pain in the rear. I did it only when absolutely necessary, until jQuery came around, and then it was like, wait a minute, DOM manipulation's easy now. I can find anything I want, I can change anything I want, I can do anything I want with it. Hey, JavaScript's fun again. We can actually use it. And so jQuery basically solved the problem that the browsers created. Now we've built so many other frameworks that solve other problems with JavaScript, and it is really just a nice place to program now. You have a dojo on Angular coming up. Well, that's fun, Crimson. There's a use for both of them, apparently. If you know both, you'll pick one or the other. You mean Angular and Vue? Well, because there's also React and other stuff. So, yeah, lots of good stuff. And the cool thing is, as James is mentioning there, there are actually a number of people that use TypeScript in Vue as well. So you can use TypeScript with Vue if you are so inclined. A lot of people do like TypeScript, and if you like TypeScript, awesome, go, have fun, do good stuff. New query argument. This is a params array. Okay, so that means in here, I just define my next argument as the next one. Since this is a params array, I'm going to structure it like this. Because this is going to make more sense to me in the structure of this list. So, params array. Hooray, params array. This is not tag IDs anymore. What are we pulling in? So it's the other model objects. It's included tags. It's selected date and selected time zone. So, time zone? What's the name of this one? This one is going to be date, I think. I broke the rock paper scissors game. I might have. I swear it is like it loses access to the chat because it seems to still run. So I'm guessing there's something up with the way we've got TwitchLib configured, and we just need to configure it again. And the reason I say this is because I know that Twitch was supposed to change a lot of stuff with their API, and we haven't updated to the latest version of TwitchLib in quite a long time, so we are probably missing the adjustments that have been made to that API. So that is what I would guess has been going on with our bot lately. So we'll see. I need to jump back to that one at some point. Okay, so that was tag IDs, which was going to be a list of int is what we're going to set for that. So channels by tag using GraphQL, and then this one is time zone. Time zone is not that kind of value. We should have an example of time zone in here, don't we? I swear we have a time zone argument. Do we seriously not have a time zone argument? I thought we did. Oh, is ID the one? No, that's ID right now. No, maybe we don't. Okay, so we must not restrict based on time zone anywhere. But either way, the type of this one is not going to be this. It's not going to be a list type. It is going to be a... it's going to be a string graph type. And then date, let's see, do we have a date graph? Date graph? Is this just date? That might be. Well, I guess we're gonna have to find out what that one is. Hold my Coke Zero, exactly. Yes, hold my Coke Zero. You didn't add the date on that one though, Crim, so that's gonna be a lie. I think you want a date time. Do I? Links lumps? I'm not sure I do. Because we're going to calculate that based on the time zone. So we should be figuring that out based on the time zone. Thomas, so I was at the conference. The video of my presentation should have been recorded during the event because they actually broadcast me into 2 other theaters in addition to the one that I was actually speaking in. So they would have had the recording being sent there, so they would have just recorded that feed in addition to sending it over to the other theaters. I don't think it's going to make it to the video, like the video won't make it to their YouTube channel probably for at least a month, maybe 2, because that's how long it took them last year to get all the videos up there. You got to remember that these are the volunteers of a conference, and they literally just finished putting on a conference, so I don't think step 1 on their mind is do a whole bunch of work getting everything loaded to YouTube. So it'll be a couple of months probably. Yeah, so I don't think that I want the time to be on here because we're going to calculate what the window of a date is based on the time zone. So that's the plan. So default value for this is, I don't even know what the maybe we won't set a default. We'll say that time zone, wait, hang on. Default value is nothing. Yeah, that's fine. Default value on this is also going to be nothing. That one's going to be a string. Ooh, I don't know what to do with that one. Hang on. We're going to have to think about it. I'm removing these for now. We'll add those later. let's make this work for now. So let's switch it to using this, and we can figure out whether or not we can get away with it. So channels schedule. Oh, because we're wanting it restricted just to today. We might want a new query endpoint for this, actually. So let's plan on that. We're going to do a new query endpoint. Because I think we want an events, like a streams endpoint or something like that, a schedule endpoint, something, to get the actual sessions that are happening. Find it real quick. Oh, is it already up, Grim? Really? Oh, that's just the Star Trek channel. Yeah, it will be here. And actually, you can go here for a better better link. So they have that one. Yeah, that's the channel where it will end up. So it will be here. Video will be about an hour long. So that's how long the session was. That's restructuring. Trimming the calendar, that's adding this. Show more tags, display that. Concert local date. You know what? I'm gonna make the events one work just for now, and then we'll take a look at that one. We'll switch to the GraphQL in a minute, because we're gonna have to make our own query in GraphQL for it to work anyway, I think. So selected times and selected date included tags. So let's go here. And then, because I'm not running the thing I want, whoops, go to implementation. There's where I wanted to go. Get rid of that. I did not mean to open that. Okay. We are going to drop a breakpoint there, and we're going to run this. Let's see what happens. Cross those fingers. Do-do-do-do. Alright, calendar. What you got for me, calendar? So first off, I haven't selected any tags, so I don't care just yet. Let's see, we're probably just not using it. So when we look at this code, we're going to be like, oh, we're just not using it. Okay, so we're here. We should have tags on this IEnumerable. Current zero, what? Hang on. What? Call stack. What? Zero. Wait, what? Included tags, 1. Because I didn't list it, so it's leaving it as an IEnumerable. I guess that's fine-ish, kind of. Alright, so I guess that's the problem, maybe, I hope. Did we then just not use that? We're probably just not using it. Yeah, it looks like we just didn't use it, so we never actually wired it up. That's funny. We probably said, hey, we'll wire that up later when we fix this page. Okay, so... So where did we use the channel SQL? Right here. So that gets us our channels. That gets us our sessions that are within that date. I think I want to do this all as one query. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We need to pull this all out at once. Debugger is exactly how we do things. because this code I'm using here, this is going to get called by our GraphQL endpoint, which is why I don't have a problem with editing this code to make this work. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to hop over here into the SQL Server Object Explorer. We're going to pull up our database. We're going to take a look at a little bit of SQL code and see what we get. So DevStreams DB, open up our new query. What do we got? Paste this in. Select star from where, and do I actually want to define these variables, or am I just going to hard code this in here? Let's define the variables. Oh, let's test my memory of how this works. I believe that is how I do this in SQL. I don't remember for certain. We're about to find out. Set at day start equal to some value. Set at day end equal to some value. And what actually are they? We're going to say 2019 0427. And what is the time that I'm going for? The time is going to be so if I want to do this in my time, we're going to do my time zone. My day starts at UTC like 4 o'clock right now because we're in summertime. So 0400 or something like that. And my day ends at like 2019-0427 at 28. My day ends at that point, so we're gonna say 03:59:59 ish, right? Close enough for that to functionally get the set that would be within mine. Just, you know, to write it in the way that makes sense, because that's the way it actually works. So that should hopefully explain to people what we're doing. So in my time zone, those are the UTC start and end points of the day. So that pulled back one stream. Oh yeah, TBC, that doesn't always mean that, because sometimes it wouldn't be a unit test, it would be an integration test that you should have written, because you really were trying to check to see, did this bound item really make it through all the way? So that's an integration test, not a unit test. That's not, did this logically function correctly? That is, did the integration of these pieces pass the data through that I wanted to get passed through? AM, Crimson Green, AM. Not PM, AM. It's 4:40 here, so in some time zones you're in trouble. Link slumps, what do you, it's 4:40? There? What? Link slumps, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. Oh, it's 4 p.m. now. Oh, yeah, no. I'm talking about start and end of the date. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I understand now. That's just weird. Okay, so let's declare another thing. Let's say this. First off, we're going to interjoin this. Interjoin with channels CSS. Actually, let's call these sessions is a reserved word. SS it is. On c.id equals ss.channelid. Boom. There we go. So we are now connected to channels, so the streams now have channel data on them. Actually, let's do this. I meant to do channel tags. Channel tag dot channel ID. This is really what we want to connect, is this one. Where those values, so we want to select the stream session.star and where and t dot we want to say ct dot tag id in we're gonna say that because that should include it, because I do have tag 1 in my set, but then if I try tag 100, which there isn't one, then it eliminates it. So that should be written correctly. I probably have tag 2 as well. Yep, but I don't. I may not have like tag 8, for example, whatever tag that is, which I don't, so that works. Okay. And just to confirm, if we did it with 2, that it does get rid of it? No, it doesn't. Tag ID in that. No. Ooh, how do we make sure that we have them all? Ooh, we need to do this differently. Yeah, so TBC, I actually used to do a lot of teaching of unit testing and integration tests. That used to be a thing that I did a lot of for different companies. No, links lumps, a left join won't really help us here. We're joining correctly. The problem is we're not joining to the right thing. I don't think. I want to confirm that we have all of the values. Thanks, Rambling Geek. Testing a small piece of your code, integration testing. No. It's the short answer to the question of what's the difference between a unit test and an integration test. Unit test implements a single atomic piece of code, and so like does one thing and doesn't connect to other stuff. Whereas an integration test is specifically any time that you're testing the integration of two components together, where you might have separately unit tested the pieces, but you want to make sure that the communication between them works. So examples of an integration test would be, I want to make sure this value can actually get saved into the database and pulled out of it. Whereas a unit test, you would not want to be allowed to touch a dependency like the database. Another example of this would be, I might test that my code can do blah blah logic correctly, and I pass the value to it. Whereas an integration test might say, hey, when giving the value to the controller, does it pass it down to the service it then calls from that controller? And that would be an integration test. So the idea being, integration is testing that the pieces integrate together. Unit test is test an individual unit of your code. A full system test or UI test, or there's like automated UI tests, are an entirely another layer that we haven't even bothered covering on this stream even once. We have not done a UI test, though I do want to at some point. A UI test actually click around on your application and actually run the full system. So they're like testing the real thing. That's like super important to have if you're building like a production application. All instead of in. Yes. Is there an all? Let's see. SQL in require all. So, yeah, how do we use this? Number of days. Like this? I don't even know what that's going to be doing. I didn't read it, I admit. It wants it... oh, and all match the subquery. So it would be like this, and all of them would do this kind of a thing. There's something else that we'd have to do with it. Yes, you could call it test driving, CMJ Chris Jones. Yeah, system tests. Count against expected count. Yeah, we could test the count against the expected count. Hey Drix, hello, welcome, greetings. Yeah, Links Lumps, I actually don't know this one either, so let me think about this. Because we could also thinking about it in a way that we would definitely understand it. Let me just do this. Let's do this. Yeah, okay, that's what we want to do. So what are the properties of this? First off, welcome Marcus League, thanks for that follow, much appreciated. And anybody else that's in the chat and hasn't clicked that follow button yet, be sure to do so, as it's the best way to get notified when we go live. UTC start time, SS, UTC end time. And I will grab the scheduled stream ID, I think, just so that we have it. So where this and this? So we do want to pull back only the tags that are in that set, and we want to group by this set of data right here. We're going to group by all of the SS columns that we're pulling. We'll pull them all. Yep. Whoops. So we're going to group by those. Let's new line some of these just so we're not getting quite so crazy there. We're going to do that here. Okay, so we grouped by those, and then we want to say having count we want to do having a count greater than our we could say greater than or equal to 2, because that's how many we set are in here, and then this should exclude ours. It does. But if we made this a single tag that we have, then it should be 1. What's a tag that we have on here? Real fast. Let's take a look. So what's the JavaScript tag and the C# tag? Because I do have both of those. Is it actually on my object? Nope. Vue will know. Vue, what are the values of my tags? Please, if you don't mind, tell me about values on my tags. ID 2 and ID 1. There we go. So 1 and 2, and that should be greater than or equal to 2. It shows up, and if we just pick another random tag that we don't have, Wait, do we really have 22? Are you telling me with that only one? Okay, no. Did we really have 22? Oh my god, if I picked a random number and it was one of the ones in the set. Is 22 really one of them? OMG, I really had 22 in there, didn't I? Oh god, what was 22? See, I now want to know what 22 was. Hang on, I apologize everybody, I gotta look this up. I want to know what that was. View data, what was 22? English! Oh, that's great. Randomly choose a number, hit the one that you didn't mean to hit. Random numbers are always 4, I thought. Yeah, Jitter Ted. Actually, I think it's always 9. 9, 9, 9. I think that's the random number generator, isn't it? 9. Okay, so this is basically the query that we want to do. 2 parameters in it that we still need to extract that I didn't actually pull out yet. So let's do this and put that all the way here to the beginning. So that pulls all the values. We need this to be tag IDs. And this is tag count. So tag IDs and tag count now need to get added to the arguments that we use for this. Args. So we need this will be tag IDs and whoops, derp. See? And then when I switch to the C#, I do it backwards. Tag count equals included tags.count. And no, I'm not going to make that a method. Instead, what I'm going to do is fix this. Which actually, why don't I just call this tag IDs and make this simpler for me? Tag IDs. And this is no longer going to be an IEnumerable because I am a jerk. I think that needs to be a list. That, and then tag count is going to be tag IDs.count, which means the call to this needs to get fixed, and so does this interface. This one, I just changed it. Whoops, I just changed a list. Okay, let's go to the call to this right here. This value needs to be .toListed. There we go. Alright. That should be fixed. Let's take a look at the code again. The select was still hopefully going to be the same thing. Because of the way that we changed that, the select should not have been modified. So we're going to select these values from that, interjoin that table, but don't pull any data from it. Group by that count, make sure it's greater than that. You know, here's what I'm going to do. Do I just want to do that as a single multi-query? I think I kind of want to do this as a multi-query. Because it can do it. I am way behind on chat. Rising Phoenix, hey, greetings, welcome. I see you there. Wish you like more, I assume, dev? Cool. So, the interesting thing that I do want to point out, so as people are talking about testing, I have a strong opinion on this one, and that is the fact that I do believe that if you are in testing, you should know how to write code. Period. Because you should be automating your testing. If you are testing something and you are a tester, that is your job, you should test it with code. You should write automated UI tests. You should write integration tests. In fact, I think in a lot of places you can have like your team's devs should be the testers also. And you can have people whose dedicated job is testing because they're good at it, but there needs to be some crossover there. It's important that devs be testers and testers be devs. Does a lot of things for the relationship between the devs and the team and their code as well, because you no longer get that barrier of like, I'm trying to push this thing past the tester, and the tester's no longer like, I have to find this stuff that the devs are creating because they're making all the bugs. It's like, no. We're all on the same dev team here. Like, we're all working together to build a great product. Let's do this together. And yes, you should always be automating. I see the application as an object and the test is kind part of the object. That's what I realized when I was working as a tester. I want to test everything, but I don't have time and budget to do it. So how do I build confidence in the application most efficiently? Exactly, Fuel Snable. What did Simon say? Everything is coding in one form or another nowadays. Yes, exactly. Yep. So if you are a tester, you need to learn about all the various testing tools. There are a ton of them are available, and they will do a lot of that work for you. I kind of want to change this to be a multi-query, but I'm not going to do that right now. We're first just going to see if this works at all. Yeah, I am aware. So I used to, as many of you remember, I used to do a whole bunch of unit testing here on the stream. We did lots of it, but what I would end up finding is that people were just much less engaged in the stream when we spent a lot of time unit testing. Now maybe the audience is different now, and I should retry doing a bunch of unit testing on the stream and just see what we get. So C#. Okay, so right now we say our join isn't working because we don't have any tags selected. We need to make sure it works in the 0 case. But look at that. That is working. So Java, it doesn't show up, but C#, it does. C# and JavaScript, it's still there. But as soon as I add C++, DevChatter disappears. If I choose English, DevChatter stays. But if I choose Italian, DevChatter disappears. So we have a bug with the 0 case, but the other ones do seem to work. What is this? Some of that is what I realized. You should write property-based testing. At least I would be engaged. Yeah, Fuel Snable. So that's the thing, is it's always tough with audiences, because really at the end of the day, like, so I want to have fun coding here, and there's a balance there, right? Like, I don't want to just do my stream based on what's going to have the most people here, but I also don't want to engage less of the community. So if I can engage the community in cool stuff, building cool things, I will do that. But I do try to tweak to what people are interested in. So for example, I will have a lot of fun building a website like this, and I'll have a lot of fun doing like the casual game development that we do from time to time. But I don't want to stick to any one category of thing too long, because I do know that you all want to see other stuff. Even if it's not your favorite thing to see the casual game development stuff that we've done on stream, you probably find it interesting when we do it from time to time, even if it's not, like, constant. Even if that's not our main thing. So, like, there's balance there. In terms of the stream, maybe do a bit of unit testing as and when rather than TDD to keep the ratio interesting between... yeah, so Simon, what I did sometimes was I would occasionally also do a stream where I would just list it as like we were going to do some unit testing of some of our stuff on the stream. Sari3211, hello and welcome, greetings. Tell my devs to unit test everything with integration tests and system testing. I write out the scenarios and give it to risk and time and have a conversation with the business and have an agreement. One of the problems that a lot of people run into, and I think this is what Fuel Snable is running into, is that a lot of people will do behavior testing instead of state testing. And one of the challenges with that is a lot of times when you're doing behavior testing, what you end up doing is you test the implementation of your code rather than so rather than testing the logic you expect to happen, you test the way it currently is written to happen. And that is a problem with how a lot of people write their unit tests, which is what makes brittle tests and often makes people dislike testing in general because they've written tests that aren't helpful. So that's one of the problems that you can run into frequently with teams that are doing unit testing, and you get backlash on it. A lot of times something like that happened, where they tested the wrong way. So, okay, let's do this. We're gonna branch off of this branch, and we're gonna call it UX for the calendar page. Wiring up the tag selection. I'll say tag filtering. Okay, since we are here, I want to do a couple of things. First off, make this a multi-query rather than separate. Fix the 0 tags selected bug. Okay. Calendar. We're gonna say extract a view component from the duplication with channel page. There we go. Okay, fantastic. Oh, Twitchloff. First off, welcome. Hi, greetings. You are preparing a talk on TDD at work. I used to actually have a TDD talk that, funny enough, Steve has given my TDD talk a few times, and by that I mean, like, Steve Smith and I used to do a lot of slide sharing. So if you watch Steve do a TDD talk, I can guarantee you that 60% of his slides are slides from a TDD talk that I did long time ago. So whenever we run workshops, actually either one of us, we will frequently use slides that either we just harvested from each other's stuff or whatnot, because we have very similar stances on a lot of those things, so any slides we make are pretty much going to be the same thing. What do you mean, mocking a class then checking if download was called? Yes, TBC, that is correct, and I apologize, I know that you have a long stream delay, but yes, that is what I mean when I say that people are testing the behavior that they've written, rather than, that's testing the implementation rather than making sure that it actually works. So those tests you can do some of if it's really, really never going to change and you want to make sure that happened. The time when you would want to test those types of checks is if there is a logical reason when they wouldn't call that. So if it's always just going to call that, there's not really a point to that test, because, like, it's one of those, like, yeah, it's either going to happen or it isn't, and you're usually better off testing that more with an integration test or with a UI test, whatever kind of bug that would have run into. So that's usually the way that works. You're better off with an alternative. That's why you don't want to test it that way. Okay, so we have those there. This is not bad. I am going to review those. I know that Riley Dom is going to get us that draft switched over soon. We're going to switch that to using a GraphQL query instead of using our API call. Luckily, the underlying code is going to work exactly the same, so it won't matter. And I want to talk to everyone about a couple of things. So first off, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. We are going to be streaming again on Monday, because here on the stream we do... DevChatter is actually live on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Today, obviously, being our Saturday, which I think you figured out. We are a fairly open stream. We want to welcome you to ask questions, anything like that. We work with an awesome community of other developer streamers, and we have an awesome community of people here in the chat that hang out with us. So I want to thank everybody for coming out and doing that. for just being here. A couple of things I do want to mention. If you are interested in chatting with me or any of the other people here on the stream, I highly recommend that people join our Discord, as it is a fantastic place to chat with me and other developers that are in here. We have had hundreds of people in there for quite a long time, so there really is a great community of people if you're interested in chatting about stuff. I find it a great place to discuss the kinds of things that we are interested in, so if you think some tech is cool, I think it would be a good spot to, you know, bring it up and ask other people's opinions on it, that sort of thing. In addition, if you are interested in taking a look at any of the source code for any of our projects, you can find all those out on GitHub at github.com/devchatter. Links again in the chat as well as down below the stream. We do have some open source projects, specifically this one I'm working on. If you also are someone that wants to see us have a community site where you can find information about DevStreams that are live on the internet, I highly recommend you help us out finishing up this site, because once we can get this actually out the door, it then just becomes value to you, me, and the rest of the developer community, and I think it's going to really, really be a useful thing for all of us, because who doesn't want to be able to just find other streams that are interesting? One point of note, one of the things that we want to build onto that site is a page you can go to where you can find who is streaming right now, how long they've been live, so that they give you a raid target. The reason I specify that is because I want you all to hang out, because I am going to wrap up the stream, but I am intending to raid a streamer that you might not know about, who is absolutely awesome. His name is Honest Dan. So we're going to stream, we're going to raid his stream because I think he's really, really cool. I love all the stuff that he does. He's a great guy. And so that is who we're going to raid after this stream. He is live. I don't know how long he's been live, again, because I don't have that page, so I can't just easily go there and be like, hey, who's live and how long have they been live, so I don't catch them at the end of the stream sort of thing. But I also want to mention that if you want to see the archives of our videos here, you can find them on YouTube at youtube.com/c/devchatter, and I'll post links to my Twitter accounts as well. Now, I want to roll our credits. I don't know if this button's going to work. My Stream Deck was not connecting to Streamlabs OBS very well. So if this doesn't run... okay, good, it's working. Hey, fantastic. Alright, so I want to thank our moderators for hanging out today. Crimson Green, he was here for a while. S&B and Stool Penner as well. Thank you for helping out, moderating the chat. We had all these wonderful people who followed us today. Have a look at those. Our subscribers, Greendolf and S&B, both chimed in today. TBC, thank you for that follow, even though I know that I've got a long delay, so you probably won't hear this till the end of the stream. Hopefully you catch it before it cuts out on you. But thank you very much for that follow, greatly appreciate it. Anybody else that hasn't clicked that follow button, be sure to do so, as seriously, we stream 4 times a week. If you want to be here when we go live, I try to start on our appointed time, but occasionally I'm a few minutes late, so that's a good way to get notified and be able to hop in here. I will be back on Monday for some more streaming. Should be quite fun. Let me go ahead and get that raid wired up to Honest Dan Games. Twitch Love, hey, thanks for coming in with that Twitch Prime sub again. Always nice. Yeah, so 8 months, that's impressive. The Michael Jolly, hey, did you just grab a badge from one of the badges from someone? Awesome, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Thanks for hanging out, the Michael Jolly. Much appreciated. And then we had a handful of people, Pixel Breath, Honey Badgers, and anybody else? No, those are the only ones I see on the list right now, but thank you for those follows, everyone, much appreciated. I saw Robert Tables. I'm glad you love the stream, and I'm glad you also love the dev community. I love our dev community here on the internet. I'm always telling people that the Twitch community really is like our developer community that we're building here is really fantastic. Friendly, nice people, full of energy, full of awesome ideas for stuff they want to do. It's really amazing, the stuff that we're building, so I'm thrilled by all of the growth that we've had in the community as well. Really, really fantastic. Thank you for hanging out, everyone. I will check out those clips that people put over in the Discord later. And yes, one more month until Twitchloft gets that new badge. Take care, everyone. Happy coding. I will see you on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Later.